Thank you so very much. The panelists are requested to be seated. We are not done yet. You know, there was a beautiful story. I was going through that, and it kind of touched my heart, and it fits in perfectly in today's event. There was a teacher teaching a class for many, many years. What happened was one of the students asked, "Teacher, are you married?" She said, "No, I'm not." Months, years gone by, questions were asked again, "Why aren't you married?" She said, "You know what? Since you have asked me this question many, many times, so I will answer your question." There was this man, has 5 daughters. And he was badly wanting a boy to carry on the progeny. One day, the 6th daughter was born. He took that daughter and left it by the light outside at the street at night for someone to take it away. This is not a fantasy, real story that I'm sharing, happening right now in the era you and I living in. Next morning, he was going by the street, saw the daughter still sitting at the light. No one has taken it. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days gone by. Fatherly love struck in his heart. He said, "You know what? This might be the will of God. So I'll just go ahead and take her back and raise her as my 6th daughter." Thereafter, he started having son. He was being blessed by son after the 6th daughter. But there was a test that was coming beyond that. Every son that was born, one daughter would die. 5 sons were born, 5 daughters were dead. 6th one left. This man grew older, become an old man, couldn't walk, couldn't make livings. And the daughter who he wanted to be taken away was the only one who were living. And the sons who he was wishing them for, wanting them to be the caregiver of him at his age, have got married and gone and left him alone. So the daughter, the last daughter who was survival, is the one who is taking care of this old man, sheltering him, making food for him, changing his clothes, feeding him, hospital visits and whatnot. And she said, "You know who that woman is, who that daughter is? That's me. I am the one who is taking care of my dad. That is the same reason that I have not gotten married as of today. If I get married, then I will get busy with my other activities, taking care of my family, my children's love will be taken over, so I am taking care of my father." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you've been blessed with 2 daughters or 3 daughters or sisters, if you take good care of them, if you give them good educations, and they grow older, they get married, have their own house, on the day of judgment in the paradise, you will be with me like this. He is showing his 2 fingers in paradise with me. This is the status that our religion has given to us. Our esteemed scholars from all different faiths have shared the sacred text that teaches us what to do when it comes down to taking care of the sisters. Now the question is, some of us have only boys. Some of us has only daughters. We are very blessed and fortunate living in this country, enjoying everything that is possibly out there in this world, fighting for our rights, going beyond our rights, enjoying the luxuries of our lives, but forgetting about the world that surrounds us, or we have not even gone and visited them. Presenter, when she comes, our keynote speaker, when she comes and educate us about what the gender size is. How many of us have ever Googled the word gender side? Can you all raise your hands, please? I just want to make sure that we know what gender side is. So the number of hands speaks for itself. You know what is gender side? What I understand by looking at the killing women. 117 million women have been killed by the negligence of you and me. Ask me why? Because we have paid attention to something that is happening in our backyard. That is happening in our backyard. These are all sweet talks. I can share the stories. You can hear the text. Our scholar would speak beautifully. When it comes to practicality, how many of us will step up to the plate? That's the question. That's the test that we have. To educate one child, to educate one daughter who has been the victim of family violence, gendercide, killing, honor killing, you name it, they have it. They kill them at the name of religion, they kill them at the name of tribe, honors, they kill them. You will know it when our keynote speaker will come and take the stage. But my question is, the test for you and me is this. You know what they say? When there is no money, there is no mission. Let's see how many of us will take this responsibility on our shoulder. If you cannot take the time out, like Beverly, who takes the whole life out of her family life and goes out, travels the world and finds out where these women are being tortured, where these women are being butchered, where these women are being victim of genocide. How many of us can do that? If we cannot do that, the least we can do is to share our wealth that we've been blessed with. That wealth that will go out and help those destitutes, educate them, help them. So all of you have a pledge card on your table. And I know it hurts me when I start talking about money, people start getting up from the table thinking that the program is over. No, that's not the case. If you don't give, that's fine. But do not give up supporting the cause. Cause is very, very important. We need to understand that. We need to educate ourselves. So those pledge cards that you have on your tables, you need to start thinking about it. How much am I going to donate today for the cause that will help educate and in some cases help them survive. Help them survive, help them educate, help them get the basic, very basic health needs. So reach out to those pledge cards and fill up with the amount of money that you want to donate. Some of the children who've been educated, who've been taught in this city of Dallas by an organization run by people like Beverly Hill, those children who did not have a pocket money or who did not have enough money to donate, what they did was they took their time out. They took their time out and made these handmade baskets to support their destitute brothers and sisters across the globe. Again, more informations are coming. So these are not a piece of decoration to beautify the stage, no. This is to showcase that people who cannot afford, they can afford to donate their time, and this is the product that they have prepared, and it is, you might find it for a cheaper price out there, but the price is not what we are asking for this basket. The price is what you are going to donate towards the cause. So this basket is going to be sold for $100. $100. That would be your contribution towards the cause that we are talking about. You see those little cutie booties right here? These are the children's. And obviously, I mean, look at those, how beautiful they are. Handmade by your school children's here. For you, it's $20. It's not the price of the product that we are selling. It's the donation coming from you for the cause that we are asking for. I know the panelists have given their enough of time and they have touched upon it. And I wanted to share these thoughts. We will ask you to, after listening to Beverly Hill, I would ask you to do not get up and leave until the program is ended. Food will be served. You will have enough time to offer your prayers. But your time on itself would be a contribution to supporting the cause. So with that, I would like to invite Sister Farheen back at the stage to run the children processions, the dad and the daughter. If you all can line up, please. So brothers and sisters, please, I'm very serious about asking, my humble request to you is, those pledge cards are not there for decorations. They are there for a noble cause. And that noble cause has to be honored. You know, whenever you heard our Maulana saying that the change comes within ourselves, and you all clapped, didn't you? Be honest to yourself. Didn't you all clap? Would you be happy just clapping tonight? Or would you be happy being part of this mission? And that mission is helping those who need help. Helping those who need help. So after the speech of Beverly Hills, I would need the most 5 minutes, and the opportunity would be yours to help the cause to the best of your financial ability. To the best of your financial ability. Are the girls ready? Okay. So with that, I would ask Sister Farheen to come back.
I'm back. All right, so we have this wonderful procession of pride set up where fathers and daughters will walk down, and then you know what we'll do? We'll have them walk all the way down, take a turn over there, and then walk right back. Oh, actually, they'll line up right here on the front. Sorry. And these booties, I've actually had the pleasure of going to the Gendercide Awareness Luncheon a couple of months ago, and I purchased a pair of these booties, and they're very proudly displayed in my mantle, and they are a conversation piece, and it gets that conversation started. So it's just $20 for those booties. They're all handmade by the girls who have been benefited by this association. So it's very, very important. And they're a wonderful conversation piece. Maybe one day I'll get to use them, but I just like them as a decoration piece more so than anything. So the first pairing we have is, all right, you guys changed the order on me. Okay, so let me redo this. Okay, guys. First we have Asif Effendi and Chakra. About Chakra, she is the most brave, most loving, most caring, who smiles in the face of challenges. Giving up is not in her vocabulary. Loving and caring for the world is seeped through her personality. I call her my soldier. Next, we have Syed Asghar and Sukaina. A daughter is one of the most beautiful gifts one can receive. No one can love a girl more than her father. Our Prophet said, Fatima is a part of me, and whoever upsets her, upsets me. Our daughter, Sukaina, is an angel sent to us and has filled our home with noor, meaning light, and our hearts with unending love. Next, we have Vadiyat Abbas and Atika. Our baby girl is a blessing from Allah, an answer to her brother's prayers. Atika completes our family and fills our lives with joy, laughter, and love. And on a personal note, she's a boss lady in the making. She runs that house. She's so wonderful. Next, we have Tamim Javadi and Usna Javadi. My daughter is beautiful and unique. She constantly surprises me with her growing knowledge and wisdom. The love I have for my daughter is inexplicable. Actually, daughters, multiple. And next we have Sean Meyer with his daughters Evelyn and Gracelyn. Oh, I'm sorry. So next, okay, let's do these first. Evelyn is kind and caring. She likes to dance, draw, and play piano. She also enjoys reading Harry Potter. And let's be clear, Harry Potter would not be where he is without Hermione. And then he's accompanied by Gracelyn. She is such a sweetheart. She adores her sister Evelyn and her brother Anthony. She loves to draw and sing, and that's their dad Sean. And then we have Luke Vu with his daughter Jessica. Jessica is very warm-hearted and always happy to help others. She volunteers in a lot of activities. She actually loves volunteering, which is very wonderful to hear in the youth. Next, we have Kejin Zhao. A sweet, responsible, and intelligent daughter like you is the most important contribution any parent can make to this world, and you motivate me to be an awesome dad. I love you. She's accompanied by her dad, Ziling Zhou. Next, we have Haider Rizvi and his daughter Hadika. Already a leader in the making. Let's see her go. Next, we have Shehzad Alvi and his daughter Lareb. And she's one of our wonderful volunteers this evening, so, giving her time for this important cause, setting up the space, this beautiful setup. So, big round of applause. Fine. And then we have Sohail and his daughters. Brother Sohail. Brother Sohail. He's getting his daughters. See? And there's Brother Sohail. Give him a round of applause. Wow, you are blessed. MashaAllah, you are blessed. Welcome. Next, we have Brother Rashid and Zehra. And the sweetest statement I've seen so far, Zehra is a pure piece of heaven. How sweet. And then we have Brother Asghar and Zehra, another Zehra. All he wants to say is thank you. Wonderful. And then finally, we have one of our panelists, Brother Abdul Basit and his daughter Umme Habiba. And we already know how much he believes in women's rights, so I think that speaks for itself. And a big round of applause for everyone for participating in that. Thank you so much. And that concludes the procession of pride, because taking pride in your children, especially your daughters, is cornerstone. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Mujib Bhai again.
Thank you so very much. Can I have a round of applause for all the volunteers, please? There was a king. I like sharing the stories because they stick to your The king, one day he wanted to check the loyalty of his people. He asked, I have a big pond in my backyard. So those of you who are the loyalists to me, bring me one bucket of water, not water, 1 bucket of milk, and start pouring it in the pond. So I want to see the loyalty of my people. How much do they love me? How much effort they will make to bring me the milk to fill up the pond in the backyard. So everybody start thinking, what? All these people who are very close to the king, and they get all the perks, they enjoy all the lavishing money that is coming from the king. So if I take 1 bucket of water and pour it in the pond, what's the big deal? So everybody start thinking on the same line. What happened in the next morning? When the king paid a visit to the pond, he found nothing but water filled in the pond. Absolutely 0 drop of milk. The reason I'm sharing this story is we are expecting a whole lot of contribution from you towards the cause. Pledge cards are on your table. After the Beverly speech, we don't want to be in that pond of water. Just be mindful of that. Your loyalty in this case is with your Lord, with Rabbul Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who is your witness. He is the one you're dealing with. Reward comes from Him. He is the one who is going to give you the reward. So when you fill up those pledge cards, don't forget who you're dealing with. It is my humble honor and privilege to have our distinguished keynote speaker who have a long list of accomplishment. But to me, she is an educator. She is a professor. She is a mentor. She is the one who dedicates her time, family time, out for helping those daughters around the world who need our help. Please give a huge round of applause to Beverly Hill.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm just going to stand out here. Okay. Thank you, everyone. All of us.
Could you give me a second? I'm rebooting the computer.
Okay. All of us with the Gendercide Awareness Project are so humbled and so honored, kind of in equal measure, hard to say which is greater, to be working with the Institute of Islamic Learning in the Metroplex for this event. We thank everyone in the IILM community for your wonderful hospitality in making this beautiful mosque available to us for this event. And we thank you also for the delicious meal that we will soon be enjoying. You provided that. Thank you. We also admire your warm and inclusive spirit in hosting a multi-faith conference. What a beautiful gathering this is. So to all of you in the IILM community who worked so hard, I know how many hours you have put in. Every bow, the bows on the chairs disappeared. Okay. Last night there was a bow on every chair. They spent hours tying those. But scrubbing floors, laying the tiles in the foyer, just hours and hours of work. Thank you. Tonight's event is the brainchild of Asif Effendi. He conceived of this years ago, and we had to delay implementation. Finally, it's seen the day of light. We started planning last July, And I can tell you it was a joy to work with Asif and the team from IILM and the Crescent Foundation and Alul Bait to plan this event. I and my teammates have developed an enormous respect and a deep appreciation for the humanity of these people. Just beautiful, beautiful people. I hope that we'll have the opportunity to work together on an ongoing basis. We also want to thank the Crescent Foundation, South Asia Democracy Watch, Texas Muslim Women's Foundation, and IQA, the Institute of Quran, and Alul Bait for your support. Lastly, we want to thank the young people in the audience. Next, the panelists. That was so enlightening. I was riveted by what was said. I think all of us were somewhat surprised at points to learn what they said. Thank you for educating us, panelists. And lastly, the children. You have listened to a very long program, and you've listened attentively and respectfully. Thank you. You can't see this yet, but you are the future. You are the decision makers of tomorrow. And by educating yourselves about issues like this, you're learning more about the world you're moving into, and you'll be able to make better decisions. So just keep it up. At this point, we have activities for the young people in the room next door. Parents, we suggest that if you have a child with you under the age of 12, that you release the child to exit out the back door. The material we're going to cover is strong and disturbing and probably not appropriate for children under 12. So I'll pause at this moment. Now, if you prefer to keep your child with you, that is your choice. Okay. Are they coming? Okay, we have one more father-daughter couple in the Parade of Pride. They're coming right now. We have Dr. Eagle Thomas, Knife Chief, and Aspen Lee, Knife Chief. And Eagle Thomas, Knife Chief, sees all of these beautiful qualities in his daughter: blessing, grace, bright, love, devoted, passionate, leader, faithful, caring, strong, reliable, patient, practical, responsible, and stable. How beautiful. Thank you so much. I think all of us have been so touched to see the love and esteem that these fathers have for their daughters. And fathers, I want you to know, because I was a daughter once, that your importance and your influence in your daughter's life exceeds anything that you can imagine. Your daughter will travel farther because of you. When she knows that you respect her character and you recognize her abilities, you become the wind beneath her wings. She'll strive higher, she'll achieve more, she'll hold herself to high standards, and she'll hold her future husband and their children to high standards as well. So fathers, thank you for the beautiful example that you set. How we wish that every girl in the world could benefit from that kind of love and psychological support. Our faith leaders, faith is still there, have demonstrated that all of our religions teach us to respect women and to treat them fairly and kindly. And yet we know that there is a huge gap between what is taught and what is practiced. And nothing demonstrates that gap, that inconsistency, more poignantly and more compellingly than gendercide. Gendercide is the ultimate devaluation of women, to the point that in parts of the world they're treated as if they were disposable. I want to give you some basic information about gendercide, starting with the definition. Okay, good, we're up. No, back to the previous one. Gendercide is the worldwide elimination of women and girls due to social causes, due to severe discrimination and lack of basic human rights. It is a man-made problem, but that means that it's a fixable problem, and that's the only good thing about this. The immediate and specific causes of gendercide are the selective abortion of female fetuses in areas where there is a strong preference for sons over daughters. In addition, we have female infanticide and the gross neglect of very young girls. Third, we have maternal mortality that is 99% preventable and therefore completely unnecessary. And lastly, we have the sheer inability of older women, especially widows, to access the food and shelter they need to survive. Now, collectively, all of that accounts for the loss of 117 million women and girls from our planet. That number is calculated by the United Nations Population Fund. I'm sorry, Asif. Now that number, 117 million, is obviously astronomical, but it doesn't mean too much when it floats in isolation. So let's put it in context with some comparisons. In World War I, we lost 20 million lives. That was both military deaths and civilian deaths. In World War II, we lost 70 million. Gendercide has cost us 117 million. That puts it on a par with the genocide of the Native American peoples in Turtle Island. Another way to understand this number, this astronomical number, is to express it as a percentage of the female population throughout the world. Understood that way, 117 million is 3.4% of the global female population. Now that's a very sobering statistic. It's not just sobering, it's staggering. This ought to be a wake-up call to the world, but the world isn't paying attention, as one of our panelists said. That's why we created the Gendercide Awareness Project. We're a 501c3 and we have two objectives. The first is to raise awareness about this, and the second is to take admittedly modest action by educating at-risk girls in developing countries. We believe that education is the best long-term strategy for dealing with this problem. That's because education fixes so many of the problems that plague girls in developing countries. And those include poverty, dependency, early marriage, early childbirth, labor trafficking, sex trafficking, and gendercide. So we ask you to give the gift, the most powerful gift that you could possibly give a girl, and that's education. Before I tell you about our education partners, a word about us. We are a 501c3. That means that your gifts are tax deductible and that you will receive receipts from us. Second, we are 100% volunteer. None of us takes any compensation. Third, we work very hard to keep our overhead low, but tonight that's really not a consideration because 100% of what you give will be sent to educate girls. We are not using any of it for our own overhead. So now our education partners. Asif, do you want to get the video lined up? These are either schools for girls or scholarship programs for girls in 6 countries. From east to west, they are Cambodia, Myanmar, Nepal, India, Uganda, and Guatemala. We vetted these organizations exhaustively. We take advantage of the fact they all have 501c3 nonprofit partners in the U.S., and that means that we can access tax filings and financial reports, and that's where we start. If all that looks good, then we talk to at least 3 and almost always 4 major donors, major board members, major volunteers. And we select for people with financial oversight of the organization who can vouch for its integrity. We also select for volunteers who've spent extensive time overseas, seeing the work of the organization firsthand and up close. And if all those reports that come back are sterling, then we choose to fund the organization. I can assure you that these are all small, worthy organizations where our donations make a measurable difference. These are not huge NGOs. So how much does it cost to educate a girl? It's expensive. $200 will pay for 3 months of intensive digital literacy training. It costs $500 to send a girl to school for a year, to primary school for a year. And that includes not just schooling, but 2 and often 3 square meals per day, as well as health care, uniforms, books, and school supplies. The price goes up to $750 per year per girl for middle school and high school with all those same amenities, and then $1,000 per year for college, the same amenities plus a computer. These girls would not be going to school without our help. In Cambodia, for example, the parents of a sponsored girl make on average $1.50 per day. That's the combined incomes of both parents. You just have to do the math. If it costs $500 to send a girl to primary school for a year, that's everything that family makes in a year. Education is out of the question. So we ask you to reach into your hearts and into your checkbooks and give a girl the most powerful gift you could possibly give, the transforming gift of education. We're going to show you a video now so that you can see for yourselves some of the girls, their schools, and develop a sense for how your gifts would be used. And thank you so much.
Let me feel my mind. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. I study university at Battambang. In the future, I want to be banking. Thank you, Natas. Hello, I'm Sreenat. I have 1 sister. I study in University of Battambang. as subject accounting. Yeah. And I study in medicine for nursing midwife. I apply send for sponsor. Thank you a lot.
Hello, I'm Beverly Hill, President of the Gendercide Awareness Project. You just heard thank you messages from 2 of our sponsored students in Cambodia. Seeing them, you'd never know that both girls grew up in grinding poverty, in families earning just $1.50 per day. The Cambodian Village Fund educates girls in poor, rural areas, turning them into self-reliant women and the backbone of tomorrow's professional workforce. When she starts, each girl receives a bicycle, school uniform, backpack, books, school supplies, English lessons, a monthly allowance, eye care, and dental care. Here is Chanthi, the first sponsored student to graduate from college. Nothing about this poised professional woman suggests her humble beginnings. Chanthi says, "Thank you for helping all the scholarship girls to study and get a higher education, and giving us the opportunity and ability to find good jobs. Now, let's move to Nepal. Our partner, Hands in Outreach, educates girls in the slums of Kathmandu. Here, you see little Sharmila. Sharmila lives with her mother and grandmother in a tiny, dark hovel with a mud floor. Just imagine the mud floor during monsoon season. A plastic sheet and some old saris separate this family from the family next door. Despite these wretched conditions, when Sharmila walks out of her house, she looks neat and clean, like she couldn't possibly belong to that place. Sharmila is in good hands at the Hands in Outreach preschool, where she has wonderful, caring teachers. Sharmila attends one of 2 preschools run by Hands in Outreach. Hers is located right in the slum where she lives. Do you see it? It's the turquoise building in the back left. It's not elegant, but the school is an oasis of care and learning for these youngsters. Thanks to your gifts, the Gendercide Awareness Project provides 30% of the operating budget for this preschool. From here, the girls will go on to primary school, then secondary school, and possibly college. Let's cross a continent and an ocean to Guatemala, where we support Miguel Angel Asturias Academy. Founder Jorge Chojolan explains his vision for the school in Spanish, so let me translate. When we founded the school in 1995, we had a big dream. We wanted to begin a school system throughout Guatemala that would produce critical thinking students. I had faced problems of racism because of my last name and my accent. Since then, I have always thought, how could it be that other indigenous people wouldn't face the same problems? We work with basic themes each month. We have themes like gender, pollution, health, ecology, education, and courtesy. Our method of education allows students to be critical of their reality in order to drive change that transforms that reality. We don't want our students to think like the rest of our society thinks, that women are meant to marry and they are not meant to study, and that men are meant to study, but only to a certain grade, and then they should go to work. We want our students to learn not only academics, but also to learn a technical skill. The Gendercide Awareness Project sponsors several young women in Guatemala. But I'm going to tell you about just one, Vanessa. Vanessa's education stopped entirely for 2 years when her parents could no longer pay the fees. For those 2 years, she worked in a taco shop. Fortunately, a gift from the Gendercide Awareness Project enabled her to re-enroll, this time at the Asturias Academy. Vanessa's favorite subject is math, and she would like to become a doctor. Now that she is back in school, Vanessa is hopeful and optimistic. She wrote us a beautiful, touching thank you letter. I am very grateful to GenDAP for helping me. I want to show everyone that the help I am getting is worth it. One of my greatest dreams is to be a great doctor, so I can help those who need it and do not have the means to pay for medicine. Thank you for making me so happy and for all the support, for giving me the opportunity to study and getting me closer to realizing my dreams. Thank you for being people that love to help others. Thank you. GenDAP also sends girls to school in northern Uganda, the part of the country where Joseph Kony and his dreaded Lord's Resistance Army butchered villagers for 20 years. Invisible Children Uganda is our partner there. Founder Jolie Andrubile, seen on the left, educates the children of former sex slaves and other children whose lives were shattered by the war. She focuses on girls because they are at a disadvantage relative to boys. Meet Flavia in the center of this photo. Her education has progressed far more slowly than she would like. Flavia repeated the last year of primary school over and over again. Not because she was stupid, but because the difference in cost between primary and secondary school was simply more than her mother could pay. Your gifts from last year made the critical difference. And now, finally, Flavia is in secondary school. Flavia is much older than her classmates, but she doesn't let that stop her. She is determined to become a nurse. Soon, she will join these high school girls, some of whom are also sponsored by Invisible Children Uganda. Our last partner is the Pardati School in India, in Uttar Pradesh, to be precise. Pardati means great-grandfather, great-grandmother. It is the brainchild of founder Sam Singh, who used his retirement money to establish it. Sam believes wholeheartedly in the benefits of educating girls. When asked, why a school for girls? He replied that if you want to move a society out of poverty, and I quote, the only transformation that is going to come is through the ladies, through the mother. They are the ones who will transform it. They are the ones in any society that transform it. Pardati started with just 13 girls. Now it has over 1,300. One of our team members spent 3 weeks there. So now, Kathleen Sams will tell you what she saw.
When I was in India, you see a cement school with 2 stories, and that may just be a building to you who just drive past it. Although it's a hard drive from Delhi, I will tell you. But that school is a home, a safe haven, a refuge for girls who, at the age of 5, when they are able to go to this school, did not look 5. They looked much younger because they, for a long time, had been undernourished. And this may be the first opportunity for them to have breakfast and lunch every single day. And that is a small, very small contribution that can be incredibly life-changing, because you cannot learn if you, one, don't have a school and you don't have the opportunity, but you absolutely cannot learn if your tummy is empty. And I saw how committed each individual was there. And I'll tell you one story that kind of become an urban legend at this school, and it really still speaks to me. Renuka, who is essentially their headmistress, she and Sam discovered that a girl wasn't coming to school, and she was in the process of being sold into child marriage. And they really, that was the moment where I think has become a message for them how truly committed they are to every single girl that is enrolled in that school's success. They found this room. They went all over India. I mean, it was a journey to talking to family members, talking to community leaders to try to figure out where they were. And they brought her back to school and she graduated. She was 15.
Does this work?
Give it up, guys. Wake up. I'm going to share one more story, and that would be the last story of the night. Why is it that I'm sharing this story? Because that truly reflects you guys out there. You see, we had a full house in the beginning. When it comes down to money, this is what it is. But here is the deal. A father goes out with his son, and they both buy a donkey for their transportation. You see, those who are laughing at the back, they would miss the story. This is a real good story. They both bought a donkey. On the way back, son is holding the rope and the father is sitting on the donkey. And the people start talking. Look at this old man riding on the back of the donkey and having a young child holding the rope. Father said, that's too bad. Son, you hop onto the back of the donkey and I'll hold the rope. Along the way, people start talking. Look at that young child. Absolutely no respect for the father. Having him hold the rope and he's sitting on the back of the donkey. He said, what do we do? Well, let's both of us sit on the back of the donkey. Now both, son and the father, both are on the back of the donkey. And now people start talking. These guys have absolutely no mercy for the animals. Look at it, both of them sitting on the back of the donkey. Now what do we do? They can't let us be on the front or on the back. They say, well, the only solution is to make these people happy is, let's both of us pick up the donkey. So one of them picks up from the front, the other one picks up from the back. And they are walking by. And the people start talking. Look at those two fools, don't even know how to make use of transportation. People will talk no matter what in the world you do. You know, the people like Beverly, how many people would be out there speculating, yeah, she's doing it, she's probably making money for herself. She absolutely made a clear disclaimer. 100% of the proceeds from today's contribution will go toward the noble cause. You probably see a lot of fundraisers out there, motivational speakers, making money, getting the cut. I am not a professional, This was the first time I was asked to raise funds for this noble cause, because I personally feel that this is a noble cause. This is a true reflection of our religion. We should step up to the plate and do the best, do the most. She has already given you the breakdown. Now, I'm asking 10 brothers or sisters from the group, 10 brothers or sisters who are willing to support a pledge of $750 for 1 year of school for the girls in Uganda who want to be a nurse. $750. How many of you want the daughters to become a nurse in Uganda? $750. The first one who will raise their hands will get the reward of all of those who will fund towards this cause, equivalent to the total number of money we raised tonight. They will get there, because stepping the first stone is the most difficult job. So who want me to be first? Very good, 750. Somebody can tell. I know her dad, so I know how to get the money. Don't worry about it. This is a genuine donation. Give me your name.
Alicia.
Alicia has donated $750. Now I saw another hand. Are you serious? Okay. I know her mom and dad both, so she is donating $750. So we have a 2 donation. Give me your name.
Aisha.
Good job. So Aisha and Alicia both have donated $750. Who is the third one? Give it up, guys, for that. Give it up. Who is that? We have a brother back there. Give me. Volunteers are requested to approach the volunteers, and we need to make dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give those who give for others. Say Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give barakah in the rizq, in the family, in the health, in the wealth of all the donors. Say Ameen. 750. We have 3. We need. Okay, I'm just going to make it short because I know we're running out of time. Let me have 2 more actually. We have 2 more. We have a brother right there for 750 right there. 750. 750. One more brother, then I'll go to the next. 750. This is a charity, folks. You know, when we die from this world, when we'll be alone in the grave, you know what is it that will accompany us at that day? The last thing a dying person, when the person is leaving this world, the last thing that he would wish at that moment would be, I wish I had a chance so I would donate. Because he can foresee the benefit of donations. We will leave this world, but the work of charity, if it continues, we will continue to accumulate the good deeds. So the last person for 750. Last brother or sister in our audience, 750. The last one. The last one. Going once. Going twice. 2.5. 2.5. Okay, no problem. Can we go for $500 for each girl for a primary school, for a girl in a primary school? We have sister right there, 500. Guys, give it up, $500. The first one. Do we have another brother or sister for $500? $500. Those of you who are leaving the hall, listen to this. Be part of the khair. Be part of the good deeds. Your time is also a charity. Your smile on the face is a charity. And the charity is an insurance, it's a protection. You know, there was a mom, she was hungry. She has a daughter and a mom, both home sitting. And she was so hungry, and that was the last meal that she had on the table. As soon as she was taking the morsel to her mouth, a beggar came on the door and knocked. Asked, whoever has anything for eating, give it to me. I have not eaten for days. She took that morsel out and gave the whole plate to the beggar. the entire, and then she stayed hungry. Few days gone by, her daughter was alone at home. A wolf came and grabbed it, started running. She started chasing the wolf. She started chasing the and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the angels coming down in a rapid speed, escaping the dirt from the mouth of a wolf. And you know what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the mother, you remember that one morsel that you gave to the destitute, the beggar, to the one who was more hungry than you? In reward of that, I saved your daughter today. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you. It's a protection. How many times we are driving on the road and then all of a sudden we fall asleep and then we wake up as if somebody has just, inadvertently woke you up. This is the result of the charity that you give. So $500, I'm going to, because we are running out of time, $500. We have a sister back there, $500. Can you all give it up for her, please? $500. $500. We have a sister right here, $500. Volunteers, are you catching up with the number? $500 right here. A sister who is donating $500. $500. Believe me or not, forget about the numbers. Don't worry about the people who have left the hall. Don't worry about that. You know why? This is the true reflection of the people who are actually having a good heart. Seriously, these are the people who want to keep this cause, keep this noble mission to their hearts. So do we have another brother or sisters for $500? $500 is your investment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that investment will pay you back in multiple folds. It's just not 1 to 10, 1 to 7, 1 to 100, and whatever, depending on your intention. So who is the next one with $500? We have 3 so far. I need 1 more to close the $500 part. We have a brother back there, mashallah. Mashallah, $500. At least we can clap for him. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik wa sallam. Oh, okay. Well, let's go to $200. Just 5 brothers and sisters for $200 and that's it. $200. $200. It's time for Salat and we have to close it. $200. $200 going. 1, 2, 3. How about $100? Everybody should donate for $100. $100. Anyone, if you want to buy this basket for $100, there's a sister back there, $100, right there. Sisters. Any more $100? Basket for $100. Handmade. Sister back there, $100. 2 sisters. Sister number 3. $100. $100. $100 for basket number 3. Handmade basket. Oh, there is a sister back there. Give it up, guys. Give it up. Basket number 3 gone. 4. Basket number 4 for $100. Handmade baskets. You can keep it as a souvenir at your home and it will. There you go. There you go. Baskets are going, guys, down to last 5. $100. You want a basket? Yes, you can pay right now. Cash. Guys, cash is king. Cash is king. There you go. Cash. I love cash. $100, guys. $100. $100. $100. $100. Handmade baskets. It will remind you that you have supported a cause that is very dear to you. $100. Made by students, young students. $100. Okay. How about some of these booties? $20. $20. $20. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I would make a dua at the end. And we want to give a huge round of applause to our panelists who were here waiting for us patiently. Eventually they had to step down. Please give a huge round of applause. I want to make sure that they get the due, deserving round of applause. We want to thank IILM Center for hosting us. We want to thank Asif Bhai for giving us the stage, for giving us the hall, for giving us the opportunity to be part of this noble cause. At the end, last but not least, before I hand over the mic to sister, give a huge round of applause to yourself, because it would not have been possible without your participation. Last but not the least message, whatever you can do, whether it be a $1, $10, $20, $5, you can use credit card machines right here. It's available. You will get the receipts right away. You can pay by checks. You can fill up the pledge form. And don't forget that we have a selfie station out there, a photo booth. You're all invited to go and take pictures of yourself. So this will become a memorable event for you. With that, I'm going to say dua on my side, and then inshallah I will give it over to the brother and sister here. They will close it. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Hi again, everyone. All right, I know, first off, prayer is available. If anyone wants to go and do namaz and offer prayers, please go ahead. And then dinner is also served. So grab food, come back here. We can continue fundraising after you fill your stomachs. And then we have two very special pairings that were missed. And it's okay, you know, we're human, we make mistakes, but we can always correct. So I would like to welcome Brother Mushtaq with Aliza and Zoha to come to the stage, as well as Brother Abbas and Jasia. Also, don't forget the photo booth. It's a fun way to capture some memories. So make sure to get that done as well. So can I have Mushtaq Bhai with Aliza and Zohar, as well as Abbas Bhai with Jasia? Round of applause for them. And I guess the other pair is probably eating. Like you should too, so please go eat. Thank you for coming. Thank you to everyone who made this happen. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Asif Bhai. Thank you to all of you, and go in peace.